There's a quiet shift happening in the automotive world, and it should make every car buyer stop and think twice before trusting what's on the dashboard. That odometer reading may be completely wrong. The number you see on that odometer used to mean something. You know how many miles it was driven, how much usage it had, and it used to tell a story about wear, usage, value, but today that number can be fiction, and you'd never know it. Modern mileage blockers have changed the game entirely. Now, we've heard about this before, but now we're starting to see it happen throughout our country and across the world. This isn't just a crude odometer rollback scam that you heard about decades ago. This is something far more sophisticated, far more difficult to trace, and far more dangerous for consumers who assume the system still protects them. Now, you can use sites like Carfax, but that doesn't always mean that they have that information. At its core, this technology doesn't roll back mileage at all. It prevents mileage from ever being recorded in the first place. That distinction matters because it's exactly why traditional detection methods fall flat. These devices plug directly into the vehicle's controller area network, the digital nervous system that connects every major electronic component in the car. And once installed, the blocker intercepts mileage data before it gets stored across the vehicle's control modules. In other words, the odometer has no idea that more miles are being put on the car. The car is still driven, still accumulating wear, still aging in real time, but the digital record stays frozen. No discrepancies, no mismatched data, nothing on Carfax, no red flags for diagnostic tools to find, nothing. And that's the uncomfortable truth. When done properly, these systems don't leave evidence because they don't alter data, they prevent it from even existing. And that's where the industry's long-standing safeguards begin to unravel. Traditional odometer fraud leaves a trail. Technicians can spot inconsistencies between modules, timestamps that don't line up, or physical wear that contradicts recorded miles. But when the mileage is never logged, those clues disappear. Every system in the vehicle agrees with itself. The data looks clean, even if it's incomplete. The result is kind of a digital invisibility that wasn't possible before. These plug-and-play installations only add to the problem. They go through the onboard diagnostics. These devices don't require cutting wires or making permanent modifications. They connect using factory-style connectors under the dash and can be removed just as easily. And once they're gone, there's no physical evidence they were ever there. That's a problem. For consumers, that's a nightmare scenario because now the assumption that a scan will catch it is no longer reliable. The market reality is even more complicated. Not all mileage blockers are created equal. High-end versions are engineered for specific vehicles, capable of blocking mileage data across multiple electronic control units simultaneously without triggering warnings or any errors. Cheap versions, on the other hand, often fail to cover all the systems or create glitches that can be detected, and that can be to your benefit. But here's the problem. Buyers don't know which vehicle has been exposed to which level of technology. By the time a car hits the used car market, the distinction is meaningless. The risk is already baked into the transaction, and the risk is growing. The legal line, at least, is clear. Using these devices to misrepresent a vehicle's mileage during a sale is fraud. Full stop. It doesn't matter how advanced the technology is or how undetectable it may be. If the intent of the device is to stop what's truly on the odometer, it's illegal. But the legality doesn't eliminate opportunity. It just raises the stakes. There are claims that there are legitimate uses for this technology because automakers at testing facilities may use mileage blockers during development, performance evaluation, or controlling transport scenarios. In these environments, preventing mileage accumulation can make sense, I guess. It preserves test conditions, protects asset value, and isolates variables. Still, it's probably illegal. That's the official justification. In the controlled setting, it holds up. The problem is what happens outside those settings when that same technology becomes widely available. The line between legitimate use and abuse gets blurred pretty fast. The tools don't enforce intent. They just execute instructions. In the wrong hands, they create a powerful way to manipulate perceived vehicle value without leaving fingerprints. And that puts the burden back on you, the buyer. Service records, maintenance history, physical inspections are no longer optional. They're essential if you're buying a used car. The wear on the seats, the condition of the pedals, the state of the steering wheel, these details matter more than ever because they tell a story that the odometer might not. And that's why you really need to get a professional to do a pre-purchase inspection and make sure that you're getting what you're paying for, because it's no longer a luxury. It's becoming a safeguard. Even more so, it's now something that you have to do. It needs to be a guarantee that you're getting what you're paying for. Car dealers are also feeling the pressure. Liability around mileage accuracy is increasing, and the expectation that a dealership can verify every vehicle's true history is becoming harder to meet. Insurance companies are adjusting their models as well, particularly when policies are tied to usage and mileage-based risk. Meanwhile, manufacturers are playing catch-up, exploring new ways to secure vehicle data and detect anomalies that current systems miss. But like every technological arms race, the defense is always reacting to the offense. And right now, the offense has the edge. The uncomfortable takeaway is this: the number on the odometer is no longer a definition of measure of the vehicle's life. It's just one data point, and in some cases, it's the least reliable one. That doesn't mean the system is broken beyond repair, but it does mean consumers need to adjust their expectations. Trust needs to be earned through documentation, inspection, and transparency, not assumed based on a digital readout. Because the reality is simple. Even if it's unsettling, the technology exists, it works, and in many cases, you won't even see it coming. If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.